Hello and welcome back to another half hour, to the last half hour segment of today's edition of Vaughan and Vivo. Yes, my name is Richard Vaughan, my job is to teach, and I'm here to continue teaching the conditional. I'm sorry, but there are two ways of learning, and both go together. Learning has 3 or 4 phases, fases. Phases, no confundas phase con face. Yo no tengo 2 o 3 caras, espero, pero hay 2 o 3 fases o 4 fases de aprender. To understand the concept. Number 2, to practice the concept, in this case with a teacher, to reproduce the concept in front of the teacher, que es un poco como simulación de vuelo. Aprendes la instrumentación, luego en un simulador lo simulas. First, you learn the purpose of every button and switch, interruptor y botón, in the cockpit, en la cabina de volar, de mandos. You learn, and then in the simulator, you simulate constantly, hasta la saciedad, simulating to become perfect on manipulating. And simulators, flight simulators, are perfect. It's like flying. You feel like you're flying, but you know you're in a simulator. And when you know that if you crash, you don't die. So really, there's a big difference between 1 hour in a flight simulator and 1 hour flying a real plane. Okay, so there's at least 3 phases of learning a language orally, how to speak it. Number 1, to understand the concept. For in this case, to understand the formation of the conditional. Yesterday I spoke about it, con la historia del mendigo, about the story of the beggar. Yes, the formation of the conditional. But then you need to reproduce it in the classroom, which is the simulator, until you become, if possible, automatic, spontaneous, boom, 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 boom. But still, you're with your teacher, y eso no cuenta. Es como un simulador. Si te estrellas, no mueres en los simuladores de vuelo. So, then the third phase is in the real world, practical application, and that is flying. Okay, those are flying hours. But with me, simulator hours. But you need to simulate. Understanding the conditional, or the present perfect, or the future perfect, or the past perfect, or the passive voice, understanding it is easy. Anybody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry, Tomás, Ricardito y Harry, cualquier hijo de vecino, decís aquí. En inglés decimos any Tom, Dick, or Harry can learn and can understand the conditional. It's very easy. To reproduce it correctly with certain automatism and spontaneity is not easy, and it requires a lot of practice. Again. And we have an expression, practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. You have to practice. Es pesadísimo, but you know that when Raúl goes to the practice fields of the Real Madrid on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday mornings, or when Ronaldinho goes to the practice fields in the No Camp, okay? Or when El Niño goes to the practice fields in Liverpool, every day, the first thing they do, what's the first thing they do normally? They spend 10 minutes with ball control, manteniendo la pelota en el aire, okay, el balón, keeping the ball in the air, ball control, okay? The same thing they did when they were 11 years old in Alevines. The same thing. They still do today, and they are curtidos profesionales y famosos, but they do the same thing. The basic fundamentals of football. If you have a good command of the basic fundamentals of football, really good command, you're probably one of the best football players. And it's the same in tennis. Ferrer, or our friend Nadal, or anybody, the ex-Sampras, these people, if you ask them, Mr. Nadal, what's your secret? What's the secret to being a champion tennis player? And Nadal will tell you, it's very simple. 4,000 forehands and 4,000 backhands per day. Practice. 4,000 times. Bam. Backhand, al revés, 4,000 times. There's no alternative. To become good at something, you have to repeat the operation, to repeat again and again and again and again. En el mundo del ballet clásico, you go to the best ballerinas in the world, las divas estas, okay? And you ask them, what's your secret? Why are you the best? And probably, for sure, that ballerina will tell you, I have natural grace in my movements, algo innato, genético de mi madre o de mi padre. But that's not enough. I spend 4 hours every day in front of the mirror, en la barra, levantando, raising one leg, raising the other, practicing again and again, technique, 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 la técnica. So, if you want to learn English, if you want to learn English well, y más valida por todos que ir a medias, if you want to learn English well, you have to work on technique, 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 technique. All right? Grammar, grammar, grammar. Pero entenderlo es fácil. Igual que la bailarina sabe que tiene que levantar la pierna hasta así. Ahora, hacerlo bien es 1000 veces por día o 500 veces al día. And Raúl keeps the ball in the air for 10 minutes without it touching the ground every day. And that creates incredible ball control. All right? And I remember a friend of mine who was a friend of Michel, the famous football player from Real Madrid in the Quinta del Buitre. I remember. He played football with Michel on the weekends after Michel retired. And I asked him, what's Michel's secret? He said, ball control. He controls the ball. And those are fundamentals, fundamentals. And in English, learning a language, it's the same, los fundamentos. For me, to learn Spanish, I had to learn and to practice. I remember the verb pedir, to ask for, trying to master, dominar, el verbo pedir. Okay, y luego había 300 verbos más que tenía que dominar. The verb to ask for, pide, pida, pide tú, pida usted, pedid vosotros, pidan ustedes. And I had to learn the pronouns in the direct object and indirect object, complemento directo e indirecto. Pídemelo, por favor. Si lo quieres, pídemelo. Si quieres un poco de agua, pídemelo. Si quieres un boli, este boli, pídemelo. If you want this pen, ask me for it. Así se dice en inglés. If you want this pen, ask me for it. Y eso vale para usted, para tú, para ustedes o para vosotros. Entonces en inglés hay una sola forma. If you want this pen, ask me for it. Y lo contrario. Si no quieres este bolígrafo, no me lo pidas. If you don't want this pen, don't ask me for it. Okay? There's 2 ways in English only. In Spanish, there are 8. Si no quieres tú, tuteando este boli, si quieres este boli, pídemelo. Ahora, de usted, si quiere usted este boli, pídamelo. Okay? Ahora, vosotros, si queréis este boli, pedídmelo. Y ustedes, si quieren este boli, pídanmelo. And in the negatives, no me lo pidáis, no me lo pidan, no me lo, etc. Poniendo melo delante de pedir. En vez de pedídmelo, no me lo pidáis. That's very difficult for me to master. But I mastered it. Why? Because I needed to learn your language and I wanted to learn your language. So, you have to do the same in English. No hay atajos, ni fórmulas mágicas. Es codos, sudor, y lo siento, pero es así. But, aprender un segundo idioma de adulto es sumamente estimulante para el cerebro y le hace crecer. Ojo, el cerebro no crece a partir de cierta edad, a no ser que uno acometa un segundo idioma de adulto, y eso le hace crecer. Y añade circuitos, ¿eh? And I guarantee you, if you learn English well, or French, or German, or Russian really, really well, you will be a more intelligent person. You will be quicker. Okay, it will improve you intellectually and mentally, and your intelligence level will increase. So, try. Now, I'm going to speak about the conditional today as a continuation on yesterday. Yesterday, we spoke about three conditionals, the future conditionals. Si tengo mucho dinero, compraré un yate, pero no tengo todavía dinero. If I have, someday, algún día de estos. If I have a lot of money, have, uso el presente. If I have, igual que en español. Si algún día tengo mucho dinero, compraré un yate. If I have a lot of money, I'll buy a yacht. It's identical, Spanish and English, in this particular form. Now, in the present conditional, ahora mismo, si tuviera mucho dinero, compraría un yate. If I had, aquí hay diferencia, porque en inglés decimos si tenía o tuve. Igual que en francés, si j'avais beaucoup d'argent, if I had a lot of money, I would buy a yacht. Y luego el condicional del pasado. Al año pasado, si hubiera tenido mucho dinero, habría comprado un yate. If I had had a lot of money, I would have bought a yacht. Okay, but today is not a day to explain. Yesterday was the explanation. Now it's the second phase, segunda fase. Practice, practice, practice. Escucha. I need money. I teach because I need money. Lógicamente, if I didn't need money, I wouldn't teach. I'm here because I'm your teacher. So if I weren't your teacher, I wouldn't be here. Lo voy a decir de corrido, hasta aquí, just to make you feel, to hear it so many times that it becomes natural. I'm tall because my father is tall. So if my father weren't tall, probably I wouldn't be tall. I live in a small house because I'm not rich. So, logically, if I were rich, I would live in a big house. Maybe I would live in a mansion. Maybe I would live in a penthouse, un ático, on a beautiful street with a beautiful view, if I were rich. But I'm not. But if I were rich, I would live in a big house. I know you because I live in Spain. I know you. You're Pablo, right? I know you because I live in Spain. Of course. If I didn't live in Spain, I wouldn't know you. All right? I'm holding this pen in my left hand because it's not in my right hand. Well, logically, if the pen were in my right hand, it wouldn't be in my left hand. Okay? I'm not famous. I'm not famous because I can't fly like Peter Pan. But if I could fly like Peter Pan, I would probably be famous. And I'm not speaking to you in that camera because Luis, the director, is focusing on me from camera number 2. But if Luis were focusing on me from camera number 3, I would be looking in that direction, not in that direction. But Luis is telling me he wants me to change. So I'm going to change when I count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And we'll continue. I'm not famous because I can't fly like Peter Pan. But if I could fly like Peter Pan, I would be famous. I would be on the front page of every newspaper. Can you imagine? If after this class, let's imagine, after this class, I leave this studio, I open the door, and I get in my car, I start driving home and say, oh, heavy traffic, bumper to bumper. Se dice en inglés muchas veces para choque, cuando es mucha congestión de tráfico. Heavy traffic. The traffic is bumper to bumper. And I said, look, I need to go home. So I pull over to the side of the road, I get out of my car, and I start to fly. And I fly home. It's very fast, very efficient. If the weather's nice, it's okay. If it's raining, it's not. And you imagine many people see me the following day on the headlines of the newspapers. English teacher seen flying in Madrid. And then the subtitles would say, Richard Vaughan, English teacher for Aprender Inglés TV, was seen over the skies of Madrid, flying from his workplace to his home. So I would be famous if I could fly like Peter Pan. And if I had flown home yesterday, I would have been in the newspapers this morning. But I didn't fly home yesterday. I drove home yesterday, so I wasn't in the newspapers. Now, if I flew home today, I would be in the newspapers tomorrow. Okay? So, to fly. Now, I'm slim because I don't eat too much. Logically, si comiera demasiado, no estaría delgado o esbelto. If I ate too much, suena como el número 8. Si comiera 8 peras, if I ate 8 pears, rima, suena igual. If I ate too much, I would be fat. If I ate too much, I would be fat. Okay? If I didn't take care with my diet, I would be fat. If I ate fabada for lunch and dinner, I would get fat. Me pondría gordo. All right? I'm not a politician because I don't like politics. I don't like politics. I'm not interested in politics. I'm not a politician. No soy político, porque no me gusta la política. I'm not a politician. George Bush is a politician. Tony Blair is a politician. Nicolas Sarkozy is a politician. Angela Merkel is a politician. Berlusconi is a politician and a businessman, a magnate. Yes, Gordon Brown is a politician. Mr. Zapatero is a politician. Mr. Rajoy is a politician. Me, I'm not. I'm an English teacher. I'm an English teacher. And I'm not a politician for a very simple reason. I don't like politics. I'm not interested. Interested. 3 sílabas. Realmente tiene 4. Interested. Pero lo reducimos a 3. Interested. I'm not interested in politics. But if I were interested in politics, I would become a politician. I would be a politician if I were interested in politics. Okay? But I'm not. Okay? Now, you're looking at me because I'm talking to you. Are you looking at me? Yeah? Are you looking at me? Are you paying attention? Recuerda, la atención en inglés se paga, no se presta. Are you paying attention to me? Are you looking at me? Okay? Why are you looking at me? Probably you're looking at me because I'm talking to you. But if I weren't talking to you, would you be looking at me? If I were silent, would you continue looking at me? If I didn't speak for the next 7 or 8 minutes of class, would you continue looking at me? If I left and there was nobody sitting in this chair, would you continue looking at this classroom, this scene? All right? If I lost my voice and I couldn't speak, would you continue looking at me? All right? And if the television had problems, would you continue trying to look at me? Or would you change the channel? Okay? The conditional. All right? And if I spoke too fast, if I were speaking too fast, would you continue listening to me? If I spoke too quickly, would you continue listening to me? If I spoke, si hablase, si hablara, spoke, usamos el pasado. If I spoke too slowly, would you continue to listen to me? If I spoke too slowly, okay? Probably you wouldn't continue listening and you'd say, que pesado, he's a pain in the neck. He speaks so slowly that it's not fun, it's not interesting, y no hay reto. There is no challenge. O bien, there isn't any challenge. All right? Sarah is fat. Mi amiga Sara. Sarah is fat because she eats too much. Really, she eats too much. She eats a lot. She eats a big breakfast, a big lunch, and a big dinner. And so, logically, she's fat. If Sarah no comiera tanto, if Sarah didn't eat so much, she wouldn't be so fat. I've recommended to Sarah many times to eat less. And I have given her ideas on how to diet. But she can't resist food, especially sweets, chocolate. And she eats a lot. If she didn't eat so much, she wouldn't be so fat. If she didn't, si no comiera, if she didn't eat, if she didn't eat so much, she wouldn't be so fat. This table is flat. All right, this table is flat. It's not round. It's impossible to sit, I think, at a round table. Now, the earth is round. The earth is round. It's not flat. It looks flat. You know, if you take off in an airplane and you look at the earth, it looks flat, but it's not. At least they tell me it's not flat, all right? It looks flat to me. I have never personally checked if the earth is round, but they say it's round, and I believe them. It's an act of faith in our scientists. Now, the earth is round because it's not flat. If the earth were flat, it wouldn't be round. That's true. Si la tierra fuera plana, no sería redonda. It wouldn't be round. And if the earth were flat, ships would sail, boom, and fall off the edge of the earth. If the earth were flat, we would need to be very careful when we are in our boats sailing in the ocean, because you can reach the edge and shoo, Geronimo, and you can fall. Okay, so I'm going to finish this program. I have about 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I'll finish this program in my favorite camera, camera number 2. So, Luis, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, all right, let's finish. Now, you're listening to me because I'm your teacher. If I weren't your teacher, you wouldn't be listening to me. I'm here because this is my TV show. If this weren't, fijaos en la pronunciación, por favor, no digáis weren't. No son dos sílabas, aunque parezcan dos sílabas escritas. It's weren't. Okay, if this weren't my television show, I wouldn't be here. This microphone is here because I need a microphone to propagate my voice. If I didn't need a microphone to propagate my voice, I wouldn't have it. It wouldn't be here, okay? Now, 34 years ago, la tira de años. 34 years ago, I came to Spain. And I came to Spain for many reasons, of course. The main reason was because I wanted to perfect my Spanish. I knew Spanish, but not too well. So I wanted to improve it and boom, perfeccionarlo a tope, to perfect my Spanish. So if I hadn't wanted to perfect my Spanish, I wouldn't have come to Spain. Also, if my father had been ill at that time, I wouldn't have come to Spain. Also, if I had had a serious relationship with a young lady at that time, maybe I wouldn't have come to Spain. Maybe I wouldn't have come. Maybe I wouldn't have come. Yo diría probablemente en inglés más eficiente, I might not have come to Spain. Ahora estoy usando el pasado del condicional, porque todo esto era en condiciones de hace 34 años cuando sí vine a España. Ahora, si mi padre hubiera estado enfermo en aquel entonces, seriamente enfermo, yo no habría venido, por supuesto. Fijaos cómo uso en castellano también la destreza que puedo exhibir con este pasado del condicional. Es complicadísimo en castellano. In English, it's not complicated because it's standard. It never changes, but it requires practice, practice, practice. So, recapitulando. I came to Spain 34 years ago. I wouldn't have come if I hadn't wanted to learn Spanish. I wouldn't have come if my father had been ill a la sazón, at the time. I wouldn't have come if I had had a serious relationship with a girl in the States. I wouldn't have come if the Spanish language hadn't existed, okay? So, and right now, I would continue if I had more time. But the people in the studio are telling me, time to stop. The class is over. The time is up. But I'm going to sing a song to you. It's called Felices Senderos. Intenté cantarlo el otro día y no pude terminar. Happy Trails. Trail, como trial, cambiando las letras en medio. Trail. Trail es una vereda, un sendero, una senda, sobre todo en el bosque. Happy Trails. Happy trails to you. Os deseo felices senderos en la vida. Happy trails to you. Hasta que nos volvamos a ver. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until then. Sigue sonriendo hasta que volvamos a vernos. ¿Y a quién no importa? Who cares about the rain? ¿A quién le importa la lluvia si estamos juntos? Who cares about the rain when we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again. Okay, and nos volveremos a ver seguro. We will meet again because you need to improve your English and I need students. Otherwise, I don't have a class and I need to earn a living. So thank you very much. Study hard and see you again very soon. Bye-bye.